Hey dear friends, I want to talk about something different today. I want to talk about being in survival mode and how being in survival mode triggers our self to always sort of react automatically. And that all is going to tie down or in with playing guitar so much. So one thing that I see a lot with students is, of course, they're also, like excited if they come to me and get a lesson, that they play and they're not connected to the instrument, and they play the stuff that makes them feel safe, right? Like, so we all have those licks and lines we can play, and when we sort of fire them off, we have a feeling of maybe accomplishment. We feel like we did the right thing, or at least we somehow demonstrated that we can play the guitar. And I think that's a thing that is, that's the window, very deeply ingrained in all of us, this fear that other people might judge our playing, and we have to show off that we can play, first of all. Closing the window. And I think that's all very natural and all probably super biologically explainable, but just want to say it's no way how you practice playing the guitar. So if you, let's say you come home from work and you're completely stressed out, and you open your screen, your computer screen, and you maybe watch some YouTube videos on guitar playing, or maybe you just get a jam track rolling and you just play over that jam track, just, sort of maybe even to, have a possibility to get away from maybe frustrating feelings, right? And that's all good and fine, and you can all do that. But that's not what I mean with practicing guitar. Practicing guitar is sort of also practicing a mindset, and there's some exercise I'm going to explain in a minute that you can do that will ensure that you don't practice in this automatic mode, because you can do that, but you won't get better like this, because you're most likely going to repeat stuff that you're always repeating, like, right? If you don't think about your way to work, you're just going to take the same road that you always take the same train connections, going to get the same croissant at the same, wherever you get your coffee or your croissant. We're just like all absolute creatures of habit, because that helps us not to make so many decisions, and that's also healthy. But when it comes to playing guitar, we cannot do it like this, because that leads to coming home, using the jam track, playing over it. Maybe it goes well, maybe it doesn't go well. We tell ourselves it's better than yesterday. Maybe it's better than yesterday. Maybe it's not better. It's all in our gut feeling, and we don't reassess or assess our playing because we might not record ourselves. So it's all very fleeting, and it can cause us to think that we can't get better, or we're stuck. And we're sort of stuck. Like this, we are stuck. And we have to make a conscious effort to get out of this way of behaving when it comes to playing guitar. And like I said, you can still keep that part of your practice routine. Keep it. But maybe establish another one. And this is actually only one thing that you can do or should do that will change a lot. That is, when you start practicing, you start by practicing slow. Set your metronome to 40 beats per minute. That's like this. And play half notes. That's like this. That's slow. And you choose something simple. You can play the chromatic scale on one string. You can play the C major scale. You set up your metronome. Your metronome is hopefully not going to be on your smartphone. You set up your timer. Your timer is hopefully not going to be on your timer, on your smartphone. And you find a space and place where you have the timer and the metronome and no screen. And your freaking smartphone is on flight mode. So you're sitting somewhere, looking out the window, looking to the wall, but you're not looking on your computer. And then you put the timer to 5 minutes. And then you play this one scale, be it the C major scale, be it a chromatic scale, like this, in half notes for 5 minutes. And you listen how the notes sound. Are they connected? Is it legato? And that's how you sort of slow yourself down so that you can start to hear. And from this point on, you can start to practice. And maybe you like it, and then you just like continue to practice with the metronome. You do some sight reading. You try to play a song without looking it up. But what's the important thing is to slow everything so much down that you have a chance to get out of your automatism, right? So that you have a chance to be here and now and listen to your amplifier or to your guitar, right? And then just see how that feels. And I can see sometimes, I don't know about you, but I do this exercise sometimes with students, and I can see how they're suffering, because it's sort of a meditation. It's, you know, you can't play like a flashy lick that makes you feel better. You can't go to all your automatism. Then all of a sudden you hear like, oh my goodness, I can't even play a beautiful note. And that can be kind of shocking, but it will turn stuff around. And I think this exercise is better than any exercise that you can do. And just like be sure that you do it when you start at the beginning of your practice session. The beginning of your practice session is where you try to slow down, accept if you feel shitty, just sit with your feelings. It's really like a meditation. And get through those 5 minutes, and it will get easier after a while, and it will make such a difference in your guitar playing. So let me know how you practice being mindful when you play guitar, and I see you next week. Bye.